Hello, guys, welcome to another episode of the Soft and Tender podcast. My name is Sandra and I am your host. Happy New Month, guys. This episode is long overdue, but it's here, it's coming. That's the most important thing. So, Happy New Month. I hope you're able to achieve all your goals for March, and yeah, I wish you blessings on blessings. Amen. So, guys, today I'm going to be talking about the presidential elections that held in Nigeria on the 25th of February 2023. Now, if you're Nigerian, you know this was one of, well, I even say this was one of, but this was like the first ever extremely tense election. So there were 4 main candidates running, and they include Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which represented the APC, then Atiku Abubakar for PDP, and Peter Obi for Labour Party. So now I'll tell you that majority of the youth and majority of people, from the statistics and the surveys that people have done, really wanted Peter Obi to win. Now, the thing about Nigerian politics is that power is usually tossed between 2 parties. That's the APC and the PDP. So usually, if you're not a member of APC or PDP, or if that's not your running party, then you literally have 0 chance of winning. Okay, the fourth main contestant was Rabiu Kwankwaso, right? So, and he is NNPP. So what happened, right, was that Peter Obi was going to run under PDP. He was a member of the PDP, that's People's Democratic Party, right? And he was going to run under that. But Atiku has been running since, I believe, 1993 and has yet to win a presidential election. I think he was a vice once. And, of course, he still decided that he was going to run using the PDP flag. And so, I guess he would have liked Peter Obi to be his vice. But Peter Obi decided that he did not want to be a vice. He wanted to be a president. So he left the PDP and joined the LP. So LP is Labour Party. Now, the current party in government is the APC, that's the All Progressives Congress Party. And currently, President Muhammad Buhari is a member, and he has won 2 terms with them. So his second term is coming to an end very soon, hence the need for elections and all of that. Now, in Nigeria, elections happen every 4 years, and usually the first person that when a new person gains power, people just see that he's going to run for 2 terms, and he usually does get it. So once somebody enters or wins an election, the Nigerians will just calculate it as him running for 8 years, which I really do not understand. But let's leave it as that. So everybody on social media is campaigning for Labour Party. A few here and there are campaigning for APC. I didn't see so much of Atiku, and I don't think I ever saw any for Rabiu Kwankwaso. So on the day of election, so now before you can vote, you need your voter's card, right, your PVC. And on the day of election, with all the campaigning and nobody wanting the cycle to continue between the ruling parties being just APC and PDP, a lot of people stepped out. Like, when I say lots, like, it was a crazy excuse me, I have a cold. It was a crazy turnout, like much more than was expected. Now, in a good number of polling units, it went peacefully. There were no there was no violence, there was no votes buying. It was just, it just went as it was free and fair, right? Basically, that's the summary. But in some other locations, some people were killed. Some people were able to buy votes. Some people made threats, caused chaos. It was, and now let me tell you what happened. So there was this lady in a polling unit in Lagos, and some thugs came threatening, breaking bottles, trying to stab people, and they ended up, I don't even know how to say it. They ended up stabbing this woman in her face. Like, that's the best description I can give. So she had a long gnash, right, and was bleeding. And I guess they were able to get rid of the thugs, and this man got first aid, and she still came back to the polling unit to vote. Nah, like, that's a diligent Nigerian. And then also in some places where there was no violence, and where there was no buying of votes, right? Some the electoral process could not commence because there were faulty electronics, faulty technology, and it was just so warped, and nobody was really happy with it, let's be honest. But we later found out that it was just all in a bid to rig the elections, because nobody was really sure. The contestants were not really sure. The ruling parties were not really sure they were going to win with the turnout of the youth. So at the end of the day, so now keep in mind that we have 36 states in Nigeria, plus the FCT makes it, how do I say this? We have 36 states in Nigeria, right? But we have the Federal Capital Territory. So if you count that, that's 37 states. So now, excuse me, I think over 90,000 people registered. That's 93,000. No, I said 93,000. Excuse me, million. Because in Nigeria, we're over 200 million people, right? A census is in the works of happening very soon, and then we'll know really how many we are in the country. But an estimate is roughly around 200 million people. So 93,469 people, 469,008 people. So that's 93,469,008 people registered, but only 26.71% of that were able to vote. Now keep in mind that some of these people were also disenfranchised, excuse me, because of one reason or the other. So the person with the highest votes. So now usually the way a president of Nigeria is elected is that he must have plurality of the national votes. That means he must have at least 25% of votes in at least 25% of the states, in at least 24 of the 36 states, right, including the Federal Capital Territory. And if there's no candidate that has at least, that means he doesn't need to win in those 24 states. He just needs to have at least 25% in each of those states, right? Now, if he doesn't get that, then there's a second round, which is held between the top candidates and the candidate with the second highest number of states. So, what this means is that the competition now has been leveled to just two people, right? And each candidate, the top candidate or whoever it is, right, must have at least 25% of votes in at least 24 of the 36 states, right? Again, then if that doesn't happen, if they don't have up to 25% of the votes, then the candidate with the highest votes nationwide automatically wins. And so I'll announce the results now. So let me start from the last. So Rabiu Kwankwaso of NNPP. NNPP is New Nigeria People's Party. Rabiu Kwankwaso is from Kano State, and his running mate is Isaac Idahosa, and he had 6.23% of votes nationwide, and that was 1,496,687 people who voted for him. Then the third person was Peter Obi of Labour Party, and he's from Anambra. His running mate was Yusuf Dati Baba Ahmed, and Peter Obi won in 11 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, so that's 12 states technically, and he won 25.4% of the votes nationwide, which in numbers is 6,101,533 people. That's how many people voted for him. Now, second is Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, and he's from Adamawa. His running mate is Ifeanyi Okowa, and he won in 12 states, 12 of the 36 plus FCT states, so 37 states, and he got 29.07% of the votes nationwide, and the total number of people that voted for him is 6,984,520 people. Crazy stuff, you guys. And then, of course, the winner was Bola Tinubu of the APC. He's from Lagos. His running mate is Kashim Shettima, and he also won in 12 states, just like Atiku Abubakar, and he got 36.61% of the votes nationwide, which means that 8,794,726 people voted for him. So now we've seen videos of the election being... Now keep in mind that election held on Saturday, which was February 25, and the elections were continued in some polling units on Sunday 26th, and they were supposed to start counting the ballots and everything. I don't know why they even had to do it manually, but they were supposed to start with that by 6:30 on Sunday. And then Monday they were still counting, Tuesday they were still counting, and then by Wednesday, which was March 1, Nigerians woke up to the results and to the announcement that Bola Tinubu had won the election and was now our president-elect. Now keep in mind that Nigerians were sleeping. They announced at 4 a.m. of March 1. It was such a long process to count. It was not a transparent process. There were so many fraudulent activities, and people lost their minds. They felt that the person people wanted was not voted in because there was a lot of fraud, a lot of rigging, a lot of manipulation of results. And immediately Peter Obi of Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of PDP rejected the results and said that they were going to be contesting it. And shortly after, Peter Obi requested to inspect INEC's presidential electoral materials, and both Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar and the appeal court granted the request. And I hear that Tinubu has set up an apology committee to beg Peter Obi to not go down that route, and he should just take one of the many positions he could be assigned, and he could always run in 8 years' time, all of that. Now, if you guys don't know about Peter Obi was a former governor of Anambra State, and apparently his mandate was also stolen right? He was the one that was supposed to win, but because it was rigged, he did not win. And so he went to court. And the matter took 3 years in court to be resolved. And at the end of the day, he won with all the evidences he brought forth. And he got his mandate back. At that time, the governor that had been elected in court had been ruling for 3 years, and one term is 4 years. So a lot of people told him, from the reports we heard, that he should just let the guy finish and all of that. And he claimed, no, my mandate was stolen. If he won this square and fair, no problem. But he stole my mandate, and so I'm not going to let him continue a day longer. And then he started his own run for 4 years. So I believe that no matter how long this legal battle is going to take, if Peter Obi does, no matter how long it's going to take, I believe Peter Obi is going to fight till the end. And if he does win, because I hear that he has alarming evidences against both the INEC and the president-elect and other party members, other APC party members. And if he is able to win the election, if he is able to win the legal battle, then his mandate will be handed back to him, and then he will begin the reign that Nigerians have been looking forward to. Nigerians need a break. We need a break, and I know that God works in the affairs of men, and honestly, we don't know what's going to happen in the coming weeks. We don't know what's going to happen in the coming months and in the coming years, but all I know is that God is on our side, regardless of whatever our eyes may be seeing right now. So, and I know that a lot of people were angry that people they respected and people they loved were campaigning for other candidates, and they were ruining relationships with family, with friends, throwing insults, being bullies, throwing around false accusations. And I am of the opinion that nobody should ever let politics get between their relationships. Because at the end of the day, these politicians are all friends. They're all friends. It's almost like when two people are trying to vie for a promotion. Maybe they're trying to be the MD or something. They were friends at a point. And when one of them finally gets that promotion, they would still be friends. But you guys, don't lose family, don't lose friends, don't destroy relationships. I am sure Peter Obi would not have been able to run for governorship of Anambra State and any of these guys if they had destroyed relationships based off people having different candidates for a certain position in government. So do not, honestly, I plead with you, do not. And if you have, please try and make up with them. It's really never that deep. Because to make it in life, we need people. And it's not like you know Peter Obi, or you know Bola Tinubu, or you know Atiku Abubakar, or you know Rabiu Kwankwaso. These guys, even if they get into power, how many people do they want to help directly? Like, they may help the country as a whole, but it may not be the kind of help or the kind of connection that you need. It's people like you, people, your neighbors, your friends, your family, a friend of a friend. Those are the kind of people you need. By the time you cut bridges just because you think you're supporting a politician that doesn't know you, and you don't even know what they're really going to do in the end when they get that power that you're fighting to give them and destroying relationships to give them. So because I know a lot of people thought President Muhammadu Buhari was going to be the savior of Nigeria, and it turns out that he's not. And people are heartbroken. But then during the elections in 2015, a lot of people ended relationships for their family members just because they wanted Buhari to get into power. And at the end of the day, how has Buhari helped them? So please, you guys, let's just be careful. I mean, you don't even need to, if you see that somebody has a different candidate than you do and you feel like that's the wrong choice, then leave them to it. You don't need to rub it in their faces. You don't need to end your relationship with them for that. I know, like, it's just a mental thing. You can just know that, okay, this is how I'm going to deal with this person in the future, but not outrightly come and say, oh, I'm cutting you off. Or I heard that some people are even going to people's messages and telling them that, people's DMs, and telling them that because they refused to declare a stand and refused to say who they're campaigning for, that means they're campaigning for the ruling party. Like, why would you just come to such conclusion? Like, that's not right. You don't know. But it's well with all of us. So best of luck to Peter Obi and Atiku in the court of law. And Bola Tinubu is going to be inaugurated on 29th of May, which is the former Democracy Day. Honestly, I don't understand that. He's supposed to be inaugurated on a Democracy Day, which is June 12th. It is now June 12th. It's been June 12th for a while. It's no longer 29th of May. But they're rushing these things because of the circumstances of his win. They've already given him his certificate of rerun. I know God is going to help us in this country. So you guys, like, people are making jokes. I pray that it's not only Agbado you're going to eat. Excuse me, Agbado is corn, you guys. That's actually what I'm going to title this episode, Agbado. So I pray that you guys have a prosperous field no matter who is in power. I pray that God continues to help you and prosper your way regardless of who is in power, regardless of what country you're in, and regardless of any circumstance you may currently be in. I think that's the biggest prayer we all should pray. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for doing all that you do. And make sure you guys go out to vote for the gubernatorial elections coming up on March 11. So I love you guys, and I will catch you soon. Bye.